Why people will literally have all the consonants line up and no vowels. And no vowels. And everybody gonna just be like, well, you know, the name is. But then it's Ola Inka that you people are stammering. No. Say my name. Hello, welcome back to Benny's Take. I'm your girl Benny, and listen, today I'm coming to you really quickly because in one of my last episodes, we spoke about Pop the Balloon Netflix episode 1, and it was very cringe. Like, I didn't really enjoy it, not because of Yvonne, right? Like, I want y'all to cut that baby a break. I've been seeing the way y'all have been talking about her. The lady is funny. The lady did what she was supposed to do. However, come a period, the whole setup of, you know, bringing all these stars from like the Netflix universe and trying to get them to, I guess, maybe like spice up the show, it's not working as a concept. All those characters, they're better off going on Love Island, Love is Blind, the whatchamacallit, all the other stuff that Netflix be doing with dating, they're better off going there. This show as a premise, the reason why it works so well is because you got everyday regular people who, you know, may be awkward around the camera and want to just say any old thing. That's how you get the best reactions. That's how you get, you know, the vibes and all the, you know, the talking points that tend to go viral. And on top of that, sometimes niggas are needed in a show. Sometimes you just need niggas. Regular schmegular niggas on the show gonna make a show do what a show needs to do. Y'all done added whatchamacallit, raisins. Y'all done added blueberries. Blueberries already as a standalone, it don't do nothing good for nobody. It's good for nutrients, but as a standalone, blueberries not good for nobody, right? Y'all done added blueberries to what we had going on, and it ain't giving, right? It ain't giving. Episode 1 did not give. It did not give. Everybody wanted to be the star. I felt like Yvonne was overpowered. As a host, she wasn't able to get as much of like maybe the punches as she could have because everybody was mic'd up. Everybody was trying to talk all at once. You had this dude who came, you know, it just felt like they almost like playing this, like they're playing their lines. And it's just like, that doesn't work for Pop the Balloon. We love Pop the Balloon because people get on there and say any old thing, and they're awkward and they're weird, and you know, they get camera shy, and you know, it's just like, it's the dynamic and it works for that, right? So the concept that they tried for episode 1, it didn't give. But again, I'm always happy for Yvonne to go ahead and get her money. I'm happy for Arlette to go ahead and get her money. I am always in support for Black women to get their money however way they're gonna get their money. Listen, I'm trying to get my own, which by the way, go ahead and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you always know when I upload. I am trying to reach 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I'm also trying to get, you know, that consistency to get the coins going, right? So watch my videos to the end, like it, so that, you know, YouTube can put out my videos to other people, share it with a friend, post it on your socials. If you see something that I said that you like, do all of the things and just like let it do what it do, okay? But let's get into episode 2. Because after I watched episode 1, my sister and I, we watched at least what? Maybe, I don't know, like 17 minutes of the episode. And it just was giving corny. It was giving plantations. I ain't like the people that was on there. It wasn't giving for me. And I just kind of like, yeah, I'm not watching this again. And so my sister was like, you know, episode 2 wasn't that bad. And again, Yvonne is on there. I'm always going to support my African sister. I'm always going to support Black women, period. And I'm going to support all the Africans doing the things that they got to do. I'm going to show love to Ale. I'm going to show love to, Yvonne. So I went on there, and episode 2, it wasn't as cringe, right? It wasn't as bad. You had a couple, you know, talking points, you know, it just felt better than episode 1. So we're just gonna go ahead and talk about some of the key moments that I saw happen. I've already watched it, like I said, so we're just gonna go ahead and highlight some of the points and some of the thoughts that I had while watching it, right? So we're gonna play some of it back. And again, This is Netflix. I ain't got the money to be dealing with no copyright with Netflix. So I'm going to show every now and then, but I ain't going to do too much for the kid. That's it. That's all.
My name is Angela. I am 25 years old. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I am in the dental field. I'm going to be a dentist in 1 year, so you will be calling me Dr. Angie in a little bit.
I know that's right.
Angela, beautiful. 25. She's about to become a dentist within like a year. An educated Black woman. We love to see it. So I hope this lineup has some educated or, careers that's going to align for the woman of God. You know what I'm saying?
I am looking for my man. Honestly, I'm looking for a power couple. I'm thinking like Beyonce, Jay-Z, like a man that's gonna elevate me.
Okay.
Now, Sister Angela and the people of God, I'm going to say this. Do not come for me. I know how I love to touch, so do not come for me. This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to need for y'all to go ahead and retire Beyonce and Jay-Z as the example for y'all's power couple. It's time. I need for us to go ahead and wrap it up. Great artists, right? And if y'all are referring to them as the power couple, as it relates to just like the level of success and just like fame and maybe wealth and notoriety, for sure. But when we're talking about it in terms of romance, Jay-Z cheated on that lady with Becky with the good hair, right? Like, I need for us to always put that into perspective when it comes to just like maybe the levels that they hold when it comes to music industry, as far as like power in that sense, for sure. If you're Jay-Z and you want to have that like, power dynamic and respect in terms of just like, a musical genius and all that stuff, yes. The only logical explanation for you really is Beyonce, right? If you're Beyonce, who else you gonna be with but Jay-Z? Like, when it comes to like rappers that we respect in the industry, rappers that aged well as it relates to music, right? When we talk about that, yeah, realistically, you're gonna end up with Jay-Z. Beyonce, you're gonna have to be with Jay-Z. Jay-Z, you're gonna have to be with Beyonce. In that sense, I'll give it to you, a power couple. Like, if Jay-Z decides to go ahead and leave the marriage with Beyonce, who he really finna date? Like, within the industry, that's gonna raise as much respect as people have for him, as like a lyrical genius, as like a man within the industry that's respected. Who else he gonna have by his side if not Beyonce? And vice versa. So if y'all be meaning power couple in that sense, for sure. But when it comes to love and affection, he cheated on that lady. I'm sorry. Sometimes I feel like we be glossing over that. He cheated on that lady. He cheated on that lady with Becky with the good hair. He literally woke up with Beyonce and was like, nah, I'm finna go ahead and find Becky with the good hair. Whole time, Beyonce has gray hair. As when it comes to romance and just like, I don't know. Personally, I don't stand by cheating. I don't care from who. I do not stand by cheating. You cheat, I'm leaving. So when y'all be saying y'all wanna be a power couple like Beyonce and Jay-Z, I be wanting y'all to stop low-key, right? Unless y'all mean in terms of wealth, in terms of status, in terms of, notoriety when it comes to the music industry. They are the power couple in that sense. But when we talking about just like romance, we talking about caring for the heart, we talking about fidelity, is some other examples that I'd go for, right? Barack and Michelle. From what we know, Barack ain't did know nothing to nobody and Michelle ain't did know nothing to nobody. That's a power couple to me. I'm just saying, but comment down below and let me know.
Okay, so my question is, I love a man that loves to lead and just has intention for, his future. So my question for you guys is, what do you see yourself in like the 5 to 10 years?
Okay, so what's your 5 to 10 year plan?
Yeah.
So I wanted to pause right here because I remember even when I first watched it, my whole thing was like, yes, we should always be thinking ahead. Like, what's your 5 year plan? What's your 10 year plan? That way, you're just like not ending up with somebody that's gonna waste your time. But sometimes I also just want women in general to, I don't want to say chill as if like, you supposed to be out here playing games with your coochie. I'm not saying that in that sense. But like sometimes I just want us to have a little bit more fun because like you're 25, right? Like at 25, that should definitely be a question. Should that be the first question that comes up out of your mouth? I don't know, right? Like I just want us, like women, especially black women, to be able to just kind of like have a little bit more fun. And maybe I'm just speaking for me because I know in so many ways, like I feel like the world just tries to rush us. The world just tries to make us, be like overachievers. Like we're always just like trying to achieve anything. Don't be African. One thing about African, when they're bold, they're gonna get another degree. They just, the bar is always like we gotta just like level up. We just gotta level up, and we just want everything to just like, and it's like it's great to have somebody that has ambition. It's great to have somebody that has like, a plan for the future. However, come a period, I also just want us to be able to breathe and have fun, right? That should be definitely a question. Does it have to be the first? I don't know. I don't know. Right? But comment down below. I don't want women to also feel like that's something they have to overlook because a lot of people want to just play games with you and never really take you nowhere. That's not what I'm saying. But like sometimes I feel like men at 25, they're trying to have them a good time. Men at 25, they're trying to date. Men at 25, they're trying to like, maybe travel, explore the world, take risks, and just like overall enjoy life. At 25, the average woman, I feel like women, society teaches us and conditions us to like grow up a little too fast, right? And I feel like a lot of us, we've adopted that so much so that we are always just like trying to go, like, what's the next thing? I gotta think 5 years ahead. And sometimes I just want us, like, I want to encourage us to just be like, just leave. You were 25, just leave. Because the reality is your potential data that's gonna be 25, most likely, yes, they may have a plan at the back of their mind, but for the most part, they're just trying to explore life. They're trying to, enjoy and have fun and try new things and have opportunities. And they're not taking life sometimes as seriously as us women tend to. And I just want us to have a little bit more fun. That's all my point is. But comment down below and let me know.
I'm 33, and in 5 years, I see myself, possibly starting a family or getting somewhere serious, since it is about that time for me. So I've had my fun and stuff, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. Something. 33.
Okay.
This man is 33 years old, and he has on a suit that's giving, it's giving life insurance agent, right? Like it's just giving very much like, do not put that suit on ever again. But at 33 years old, now that's when he's thinking about the future. Now that's when he's thinking about maybe I should settle down because I've used my 20s to, play around, have fun, enjoy myself, maybe settle into my career a little bit more. And then now I'm thinking, I'm going to go ahead and I guess, maybe family, maybe children. He's doing this at 33. I feel like women, we be doing this at like 18. At 25, I'm supposed to be married with my husband and 2 kids. I'm supposed to be da. Right? You kind of see what I'm trying to get at, even with the point that I've previously made. It's just like men get to just live and exist and enjoy life and not really focus with, all the plans for the future. Women, sometimes I feel like we're socialized to really hemp up on that so early and so soon. He 33, now is maybe like in 5 years, I sort of kind of see myself maybe settling down, maybe having a family, right? Perhaps her questioning was like in terms of, maybe career goals, I'm not sure. But like Men, for the most part, they're just vibing out and they're having them a good time. And I just want women to just allow themselves and give themselves permission to also just like vibe out and have a good time without always feeling like everything is just like.
I know the Naja. We there for this. Okay, we on national TV, so we gotta keep it kosher.
Yes.
Okay, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Ola Yinka, so Yinka for short. I'm Nigerian. I'm a pharmacist.
Okay, Ola Inka. This one we're doing Yinka. It's Ola Inka. Ola Inka. I'm ready for Africans. I'm gonna just go on a tangent. But I'm ready for Africans. I'm ready for us to stand by our names. Right? I'm ready for us to stand by our full names and demand that people say the names. Because realistically speaking, it's 26 letters in the alphabet. Okay? Why people will have the nerve to have 76 consonants and no vowels in sight? Z, Q, V, B, C, S, F, D. They're going to have all these consonants before they even introduce a vowel. At no point do they ever abbreviate nothing. And then people will just be like, oh, shit. But then it's Ola Inka. They want to be stammering. It's Ola Inka. But I feel like we allow people, we want to go ahead like, oh, since then, I'm going to go by this name. No. I'm not going to go by my name because I don't like my name. I don't like what it means. I'm not going to go by my name. But for those of you that have beautiful names, because Nigerians, they give their kids really, really beautiful names. And even, Haitians going to have really, really beautiful names like Bien-Aimé. Bien-Aimé is well-loved. I think that's what it translates to. Or beloved, Bien-Aimé, you could either of the two. Right? But like the names just be really beautiful. But then we'll get over here and we'll find ourselves, giving shortcuts and cutting through the corners. No. Why people will literally have all the consonants line up and no vowels. And no vowels. And everybody gonna just be like, well, the name is. But then it's Ola Inka that you people are stammering. No. Say my name. Say my name, say my name. Say my name.
Hi, I'm Logan, I'm 24, I'm a dog walker. First off, let me say you're beautiful, you're stunning. And as far as what I'm gonna be doing in 5 years, I don't even know what I'm gonna be doing tomorrow, but I can tell you it's gonna be fun.
I like that.
Oh my Lord. You cannot make these things up, right? I ain't coming for nobody's job because y'all know I own a cleaning business. So my job really is, I'm a janitor. I clean people's toilets, I clean offices, I clean all sorts of things, right? So this is not me by any means saying like, oh, his job is not honorable, because again, so long as you're not out here scamming the people of God and your job, you're doing it with your best efforts, you're earning money with integrity, get it how you get it, right? However, comma period. She about to be a dentist in a year. Logan is walking their neighbor's dog and he don't know what he finna do tomorrow. Are y'all seeing how men just be relaxing, chilling, and vibing now? And then the women just be like, we are achieving, we are achieving, we are achieving. So much so that the dating pool is just like highly educated women, high earning women, gorgeous women, healed women, been to therapy, doing the things. And then you got the men who are walking the dog for the people of God, vibing out and just kind of like chilling. Because men get to just exist and figure it out. Because at 24, yeah, why not? Walk the dogs. Get your little money on the side, walk the dog. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But like with women, it don't be the same. Society puts pressure on us and we put pressure on ourselves. This man don't even know what he finna do tomorrow. And honestly, I love that for him. He gets to just be and exist. Women, we got to give ourselves permission to do that as well. That's my whole point. Literally my whole point.
My name is Cinco. I'm 29 years old. Actor, model, personal trainer as well, online. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not a fan of the question because it's so generic. Like I'm very goal oriented, so I'm like I like to like plan things out like chronologically. You know what I mean? But
This man is giving to me. He gonna argue you for the sake of arguments. Cause even as I was watching this, I kept thinking to myself like, okay, so what's the problem with having a generic question? What you want her to ask you? Tell me about your granddaddy and your late great grandfather. How specific do the women of God got to be online? This man is giving, if we're having a conversation, I'm like, oh my gosh, like the sky is blue today. He gonna be like, well, technically and actually, it's a hue that's like a little bit more of a turquoise, of a bluish resemblance that resembles the resemblance. It's giving this man gonna argue you for the sake of argument. Cinco de Mayo, he gonna argue you for the sake of an argument. Well, I like to do things chronologically. Whole time, y'all gonna hear, he an actor. Chronologically speaking, you ain't got no say so on how things gonna happen, chronologically. Because actors, you may get it, you may not. Be like Logan, chill out, vibe out. Oh, I need things to be specific, that's specific chronologically. Nigga, okay. You want a taco? Cinco de Mayo, you want you a taco and a side of churros? Please. Please.
overall, generically, I do want to progress in my acting. I do want to see myself in movies and shows, like predominant roles. I do action and stunts too, so like action fighting roles, you know what I mean? It's super fun for me. And yeah, overall, just continuing to scale and grow, you know what I mean? Hopefully find somebody that I can share that with.
So you like prefer to have like shorter term goals?
I prefer to have like a generic question or like more specific question, like what do you see emotionally like in a certain amount of time? Where you want to be, or where do you want to be just in your job, or where do you want to be like physically? You know what I mean? Like something more specific. This is like a generic question, but like
vague, okay.
But you had a very specific answer for a generic question.
to bring it all abroad.
I'm so glad Yvonne called him out on it because it just was like, you had all this grammar, you had all this essay, whole time you had an answer. Answer the question and keep it pushing. It's men like this that will argue you down for the sake of argument. It's men like this that will argue you down for the sake of an argument.
My name is Dylan Miracle. I'm 25.
Now, brother Dylan Miracle, I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible, but don't you ever do this hairstyle again. This right here, don't you ever do that again. What in the Nelly and Kelly? Nelly, I love you. Y'all remember that song? Nelly had the red hair that did this right here. Why this hairstyle is a weapon that formed against you, and unfortunately it prospered. Because for you to have this on the front and then do this right here, that's the problem. Give this back. This hairstyle right here, give it back. Wherever you got your haircut done, go ahead and have them pick up the hair from the ground and glue it back to your hair. Right here, put it back together. Dylan Miracle, this is not a miracle from God. Put it back. Don't you ever do this hairstyle again. Now, I'm still throwing now, so not too much on me. I'm still throwing out on my own hair, so not too much on me. But Dylan Miracle, next time I see you, it should be a miracle from God that's going to make this hairstyle disappear. I'm talking about gone.
I was just like, I just have a type, so it just wasn't really my type. So
Okay.
Respect, yeah.
You want to share what your type is?
Just like more kind of like light-skinned woman, you know, Latinos, white,
Latinos,
Asians.
okay.
Yeah.
God is good. God is good. I'm not even going to hold you. I've said this before, and I think I'm going to say it again, but when it comes to just like reality TV dating, Honestly, I don't be mad whenever I don't see a cast include a Black woman, because it's always, many won't say it, but it's always just like some BS like this. If you had your Black woman, that ain't the shirt you would have picked, but go ahead, Rolando, and let it do what it do. I'm tired of seeing us on shows where it's clear that for the most part, y'all don't really vibe with us like that, right? And also under that same breath, I'm like, so where exactly are the Black women, especially the dark-skinned Black women? Because it be Black women that, like, you know, they look a little ambiguous, or that are a little bit more on the lighter side, that still tend to be preferred, right? On the other side of that is like, okay, so where are we supposed to go ahead and date? Because the reality is, it's a lot of men that really just ride for us, that ride for Black women. Like, I'm talking about this deep, or even deeper than my complexion. Like, it's a lot of men that ride and just like want us and like desire us, like legitimately, not as a marketing coy, not as a fetish, not as a kink, not as a way to feel like not as that. It's a lot of men that actually do prefer us, but I honestly don't even know where to tell women to go. The conversation online be acting like Black women are the devils of the world. Whole time we be in school getting the degrees, she a whole dentist, beautiful woman, but just like the color of her skin is just like the one thing that's like, you just cannot do it. While he didn't insult us, I can't help but feel insulted. Comment down below, if you're a Black woman, where y'all meeting the man? Where y'all meeting the men that genuinely like y'all? Because when you go online, when you watch some of these dating shows, when you just see the conversation, we are in everybody's mouth. We are in everybody's mouth for no reason. And half the time, it don't be in the best light. Whenever we're celebrated, it be coming from us celebrating us for the most part.
So for me, like what really makes me happy is just like family, adventures, you know, just kind of like getting in sync with my spirituality. I'm a Christian. Like, what makes you happy as a person?
I'm gonna say this. One thing about Africans in general, not just Nigerians, Cameroonians, Kenyans, Ghanaians, Ethiopians, Somalians, South Africans, Zambians, Zimbabweans, all of us, one thing we have in common, we gonna talk you in circles. This way we're talking about, I love my family, I love adventures, and I love my spirituality because I'm a Christian. So you wanted to ask that baby if she a Christian or not. Do you believe in God or not? Because Ola Inka, I know your mother is praying for you at home. I know your mama is praying for you. I know your aunties and them, they're praying for you. I know it was die by fire, die by fire, die by fire, die by fire. I know that's how you grew up, most likely. But instead of you just ask a question, we want to be corner. You just want to cut through the corners. Ask the question. Is you a Christian or not? Your love for your family and your love for exploration has nothing to do with Christianity. Like, ask the question. Ola Inka. Africans, we will talk you in circles every single time.
Not even just saying it because you mentioned that, but God really does make me happy. Sundays is so important for me to go to church and just reconnect with Him spiritually. So that's something that makes me happy. Especially like living in Los Angeles and like just being busy with work. It's so good to just take that time to have time with God.
And so like, y'all heard her answer. She loved God. Although this man, you know, took her through a whole journey asking about happiness, pursuit of happiness, and Will Smith and them, like, you wanted to know if she a Christian or not, but you done started talking about exploration. You gonna get your Dora the Explorer on. You family, we just family, we just family. Pursuit of happiness, we happy, we trying to pursue the happiness. Whole time you wanted to see if she a Christian or not. She just said the Lord important to her. She loved the Lord, she loved going to church, having a good time. Jesus makes her happy. Right? Y'all heard her say that. Okay. Let's carry along a little bit more so we can see what our good brother gonna come and throw in our good sister's face.
Oh my God, what am I?
Oh, wait, Cinco.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so what happened? What made you pop?
No, amazing woman, beautiful, literally attracted and everything you said was great. I feel like it's giving like a cool friend, you know what I mean? Like one of my homegirls type thing, you know what I mean? So that's all for real.
For sure.
Before I bring you back to the Ola Inca thing, I wanted to play that part for y'all so y'all can see. So you have Cinco de Mayo, same complexion, same, just like Angela is complexion-wise, Angela is a reflection of him, right? Like they look similar in that sense, right? And Cinco de Mayo gonna go ahead and pop on her, talk about, oh, you giving me more so like just like a friendly type kind of vibe. I know that's what he said, but y'all, if you keep watching, he lives with somebody that's a little bit more papaya looking in the best way possible, gorgeous black girl. But he lives with somebody that's a little bit more papaya looking. Not necessarily that that person had, you know, personality for days or no, like, no, it just gave like black women, y'all don't need to be going on these shows. That's just what it gave, because you had somebody that looked exactly like Angela, right? Not in the sense of like, you know, their siblings or nothing, but like complexion wise, we go together real bad. But y'all don't be liking that. Y'all like you papaya. You people like you some pineapple. Y'all like you some, whatchamacallit, guava. Y'all like you a good mango. Y'all don't be liking, you know, like blackberries. Y'all don't be liking blackberries, right? Like y'all don't be liking, you know, y'all don't be liking the chocolate like that. Right? Like y'all be liking the papayas, y'all be liking the, you know, the mango. And again, no shade to that. But like black women, it might be time. We need to figure out where we're gonna find the man. But like a lot of these shows, not really. Because for Angela, for her to look as gorgeous as she is, she seems chill, nice little vibe, educated, beautiful, all the things. Y'all, she lives alone. Like she leaves this place alone.
If I were to run into your ex, what would they say about you?
Angela asks a very simple question. If I were to run into your ex, what would they say about you? The first dude, this one right here, he gonna give an answer, talk about I'm stubborn, this, that, and the third. He went through like a whole spiel. And so Angela, based on the answer that he gave, Angela goes ahead and asks this.
Yeah, it makes sense. What's your sign?
What do I come off as?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too huge into astrology.
Okay,
She said, what's your sign? I don't know what that means, but I feel like I should ask.
I should ask for the audience.
I'm a Cancer.
You're a Cancer.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a Cancer.
What that mean?
I don't know what that means. Do y'all? All I know is that I'm a Sagittarius and we're the life of the party. Okay.
He gives his answer. She follows it up with like, oh, you know, what's your sign? This baby's like, what do I give off? And this girl specifically says, child, I don't even know, but the girl is just be talking. I don't really, you know about astrology like that, but I just thought I'd ask, you know, for the audience, hee ha ha. You know, Yvonne throws in a joke like, you know, girl, you know, he's a Cancer. What that mean? A little hee, a little ha ha. Non-major, nothing about nothing. The girl is not really into astrology like that. It just was a little hee, a little ha. Maybe to show her personality. Maybe to just kind of like, you know, vibe out a little bit. Let's go ahead and carry on to see what our good brother Ola Inca gonna say.
My question is, what is the single hardest thing about dating you?
She on the finals with Ola Inca and the Javian dude. She asked, what's the single hardest thing about dating you? The Javian dude gonna get eliminated because he just started talking about how, like, you know, he be dating multiple people. He was just giving Playboy. He was giving, I'm just trying to have me a good time. So obviously Angela ends up popping, on him?
Yeah, single hardest thing about dating me, I'll say like time. Obviously, you just can't you gotta be friends, hang out, get to know the person before you start like jumping into like more of the romantic part. Also, like I feel like for me, my fate, if she's saying she's a Christian and she's not practicing that, or she's just like, for me, I feel like that's one thing for me. I feel like it's an easy thing, but like sometimes it's not really clear because like sometimes you're a Christian, it's like, do you do this, do you do that? But like, just knowing like what you're pursuing deep down in your heart,
right.
I feel like it's just like really important to me. So that's a different part of the question.
The question asked, what is the single hardest thing about dating you? Africans will talk you in circles, but if you pay attention, you can catch the foolery and you can catch the honesty. You can catch where they stand. Men in general, but you can catch where they stand. What is the single hardest thing about dating you? This man went in a whole circle, and with everything that he shared, it had nothing to do with him. Everything he said had everything to do with the other person. If they're not Christian enough, if they're not this enough. No, what is the hardest thing about dating you? If I'm dating you, what is it that you do that's going to be hard for me? Never mentions anything about him and everything about the other person. It feels as though like, are you here looking for a partner? Or are you here doing some Jehovah Witness evangelism? Right? Don't get me wrong. Faith is an important part of people's relationships. But earlier, Angela already answered. God makes me happy. I love being in church. I love having that relationship with God. God genuinely makes me happy. She already gave that answer. But to Olayinka, it wasn't enough. Now we got to go ahead. I'm going to make you audition your Christianity for my approval. How Christian really are you? And if the girl really is a Christian enough for me, that's going to be hard for me. Hold on. Hold time. If you is a Christian, the church is filled with a lot of Christian women. It be 75 single women of different races, different, vibes, different styles, different size, different, color. It be 75 different women in church, single, love the Lord, serving ministry. Probably the only ones serving in all the ministries, the kids ministry, the sound ministry, the intercessory ministry. It be all these women in church. And you will have 2.5 men. One of them being Olayinka. So if your faith is so important to you that you're going to have this baby almost as though now she has to be out here auditioning and trying to figure out like, okay, do I love Christ enough for this man? If faith is so important to you, why you ain't met the people in the church? Because me and you, we've been in church. You cannot tell me that ain't no single women in church that will be happy with Olayinka, an educated Nigerian who is a pharmacist. A single one. You tall, you handsome, you got some things going on for you. You cannot convince me that you are struggling to find Christian women. But you're not really looking for Christian women. You want to get on my screen and waste time for the people of God. Now it's Christianity. I'm a Christian because my Christianity, if she's not a Christian, it's going to be hard to date me because it's not a Christian, the Christianity of the Christians. Whole time, go to the church. You won't go to the church, and then you will come over here and almost make like this, like almost like a Pharisees, like, oh, I'm a Christian. Look at me. I'm a Christian. It is tiring and it is annoying. And so then Yvonne gonna be like, this is what I always say. A lot of the games that sometimes African men tend to play on other groups of women, half the time, they know they cannot get away with it with African babes. Because If you catch an African girl just going along with the nonsense, she's just doing that, going along with the nonsense. We know our men. We know how they talk. We know how they cut corners. We know how they will be hula hooping and doing the most. We know how they will sweet talk. We know how they get. It's a lot of things that they be doing to, maybe American girls or like, white girls, like all kinds of girls that African girls would have clocked it like yesterday. Because after all this spiel, here's what Yvonne gonna say.
Oh, the single hardest thing about dating you is if she's not practicing your
Practicing it, exactly. Not practicing it, but like, just talking about it, but then no action. Like you just
you
talk.
did not answer the question.
Hey, I answered the question. Now, wait, nah. So the secret's hard is, so I guess I'm just like super excited, guys. Pop the balloon. Anyway.
What did she say? Yinka, you didn't answer the question. You did not answer the question. Or if she has actions behind her faith and then it ain't no actions, that's like the action for the actionable for the faith. What are you, Christ? Messiah? Since when do people have to audition how much of a Christian they are to you and then have to explain and calculate some things to you? It's giving Pharisee. It's giving Sadducees. It's giving you not really looking for a Christian woman, because had you been looking for a Christian woman, you would have been found her at your church, because that's where you're supposed to be. Since you love the Lord so much, since you be at the church, because your relationship, God is the one that makes you happy. Since you love the Lord so much, you will be at his church. And if you at the church, it's 75 different women that's single with 2.5 men. 2.5 single men in the church, and you got you 11 single women. If you had wanted you a Christian one, you would have got you a Christian one. But no, we just want to be talking in corners. Yinka, you didn't answer the question. You didn't. African babes, we will clock the nonsense before it comes out of your mouth. So if you see us going along, we're just trying to go along to go along. Half the time, clocked it. Clocked it.
I say like the single hardest thing definitely would just be like, for me is like if she's not straightforward, I feel like it would just be hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's hard about dating me? If she ain't got no actions behind her faith. If she says she a Christian, but she's not really a Christian. If she's not straightforward. All the 3 things have nothing to do with you. African men don't want to be husbands. They don't want to be boyfriends. They don't want to be fiancés. They just need girlfriends and they need wives. Because the role, like what it takes to actually be a partner to somebody, they're not willing to do that. It ain't just the Nigerian ones. The Congolese ones, they're also the worst. The Cameroonian ones, I heard, they do not fear the Lord. The Kenyan ones, the girlies be saying the Kenyan ones are the devil incarnate. Okay? Nothing to do with him. Everything to do with the girl. The girl supposed to do this. The girl supposed to do the girl. African men are never the problem. It be the girls. Whole time, so many women in church he could date, but it's on my screen. Hola, Yinka. Hola, Yinka.
So what is it about your faith that, just so like when you answered earlier, like you're Christian and everything, so what is it about Christianity that you follow that makes you excited?
That makes me excited?
Yeah.
All the questions had to do with your Christianity, your faith, your Christianity, your faith. Like, this baby wanted to baptize Angela on this here Netflix. I promise y'all. Okay? This baby wanted to go ahead and make Angela repeat the prayer. Do you give your life and accept the Lord Jesus Christ as your Lord and personal Savior? That's all he wanted to do. This is giving Jehovah's Witness at this point. It's been 3 questions. All I know is this baby a pharmacist. He gonna talk in circles. He Nigerian, and he gonna question you about your faith. Perhaps this why you still single, Olayinka. Do not stop calling the Lord's name in vain. My good God, did you read your Bible? What does Psalm 23 verse 6 say? Have you ever read Revelations? Malachi 3:16. Do you be tithing? Like, it just gave, I'm finna go ahead and make you audition for your Christianity, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting. Because again, if you wanted you a Christian babe, go to the house of God. Get off my screen, Olayinka. How much more does this girl have to say about her faith? And why is she having to prove it to you? Why? It's a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. Heavy on the personal. You have your personal, she has her personal. If you're attracted to her, she's already told you she's a believer. She loves the Lord. Jesus makes her happy. Take her on a date. This is not marriage. Take her on a date. As you explore, as you get to know her, if she's lying, you will catch up on it. All these pop quiz, like, we gonna ask her the same question 75 different times. For what? Olayinka, for what?
I think it's just like the sense of peace that I get when I'm like, reading the scripture or like, being at church and like interacting with the community at the church home I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a sense of peace that I have.
Peace, okay.
Yeah.
Just that sense of peace.
Okay. All right. So you both got a chance to ask each other one question. So this is the moment I'm going to ask you, Yinka.
Okay.
Is this a pop or is it a lock?
See, guys. So it's going to be a pop.
It's going to be a pop.
Okay, I have my reasons.
Okay, tell us why.
So my reason is, so I know you asked about the horoscope. For me, I feel like asking, like you asked if what his sign was, and then again, you're like, I'm not really into signs, so it's just like really contradicting. And as a Christian, for me, the horoscope thing is just like, doesn't make any sense to me. So that's why I popped. You are extremely beautiful, and yeah, that's the only reason why I popped, to be honest. Just the horoscope thing. I just don't like that horoscope. Okay. Like, I'm a Gemini. So, guys, I'm a Gemini.
You know your horoscope.
No, I know mine, but there's just this, like, really, like, bad, like, really negativity about, like horoscope. And I feel like you're not defined by that.
And
you're not.
And she's not. And she says she's not. But, Yinka, thank you so much. I'm going to send you back to the basement.
And after all that, it was because of the question that she said about, what's your sign? But then he know he a Gemini. If you are so saved and sanctified and Holy Ghost baptized, how you know your sign? And does the knowledge of your sign somehow make you demonic? Does that how somehow threaten your relationship with Christ? And whole time, she asked it on some hee ha ha. I'm not big on astrology. I'm really not. If you ain't want this baby for whatever the reason, which by the way you sound, you want you a snowflake. You want you a papaya. You want you a mango. Okay? You want you a pawpaw. And if you ain't want her, why the hula hooping, the questioning around her faith, only to pop based off of a joke? Hello he, hello ha ha. No wonder you ain't got nobody, Olayinka. Because when Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior, resurrected, he ain't resurrect with your sense of humor. You ain't resurrect with your sense of character and a backbone to stand on. That's why you here on my screen. Whole time, you know you a Gemini. I don't even know my sign. I don't know my sign. People be telling me my signs. I don't be knowing my signs. But even if you knew your signs, and she knew her signs, and she asked something in joking, does that make her any less of a Christian? Does that make her and why are you the one defining and deciding for other people what their Christianity ought to look like? Man, y'all are exhausting. And so when we talk about the lonely pandemic in men, at this point, it's your fault. It's your fault. All that over a horoscope sign. You will swear this baby came over here trying to sage him down and doing like, sir, Black women, we gotta figure out where we're gonna be meeting these men, because the way these dating shows and these online platforms is going and the podcast and all the talking, it's getting too much. Wrap it up. Okay, let's wrap it up. I be getting so annoyed seeing all these Black women who are just like, first of all, way out of all y'all leagues. Because it's like, let's look at Angela and let's look at the braids that you're currently rocking on your head, Olayinka. It ain't right. Alrighty, y'all, that's it on me. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you always know when I upload. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it till the end, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Hopefully, you know, Netflix don't get me no trouble or nothing, but I'm trying to do my best. We'll see how it's going to give. I'm going to watch the other ones as well. I still got to do episode 40. Somebody asked me to do that. I'm going to go back because, again, this is not a series that, like, you know, goes in chronological order. So I could go back. I could do like a little, you know, little Uno reverse and do the things for the people of God. So thank you so much for watching. Please go ahead and subscribe. And I'm going to go ahead and see you guys on the next one. Bye, Steve.